In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a ledger, so a cold wallet storage device for your NFTs. Now, if you've seen the previous video, I've gone through the reasons why you would set up a ledger, so I'm not going to spend time on that. This is purely, you've got yourself a ledger, how do I set it up? So this is what they look like, right? One of these ledgers. It's a little USB key looking type device. And you'll see there's a couple of buttons. Now, they could be on top, underneath, or they could be at either end of the ledger on the same side as the screen. They're used for navigating the options here, right? You see some arrows. Well, it's these buttons that are the things that are going to be letting you scroll through the screen. Sometimes it'll ask you to press both buttons at once if you want to, it's like the equivalent of clicking OK, right? You're pressing both buttons to do something. So that's what it looks like. Really, there's four parts to setting up a ledger when you get one. It's pretty straightforward. The first part is just the initial setup, where you're going onto the ledger to create a PIN number and then to create your 24-word seed phrase. Metamask has a 12-word seed phrase. Ledger, a little bit more secure. You're going to have to write down 24 words when you set that up. So that's basically the first part. The second part is to download the Ledger Live application onto your desktop or laptop so that you can put the latest firmware updates on, but importantly, install the Ethereum application so that we can use the ledger to store our NFTs. Once that's done, the next part, part 3, is to integrate the ledger, so connect it up to our existing Metamask so that we can flick between our software hot wallet in Metamask and also our ledger wallet. And the fourth step, really, the final step, is to test it. We're going to move an NFT over to the ledger and move it back just to make sure all the access works. So with that, let's get into the first part, the initial setup. When you first get out of the box and connect it up, you're going to get a welcome screen. This is what it looks like for the Nano S Plus, so this is what I'm going to be taking you through, but the setup process is basically the same whether you've got a Nano S, an S Plus, or an X. So you're going to press the right button, and you can see here on the S Plus there's a button at the top left and the top right, so it's saying press the top right there. It's just letting you know, go download Ledger Live, use the buttons to navigate the menus, press both buttons to select. So whenever you need to select it, like hitting OK, you're going to be pressing both at the same time. And also you can hold both buttons at any time to access the settings. So if you ever need to go to the settings menu, if you ever need to reset the device, change a configuration item, you're pressing both buttons regardless of where you are in the ledger. And if you need help during setup, you can go start Ledger Live. We won't need that because we're experts. Okay, next step here, if you keep hitting right, you're going to get to set up as a new device. That's what we're going to do here. If you had lost your ledger, but you had your 24-word recovery phrase, you can hit right here and actually recover. So you can recover your old ledger settings and essentially get access to your NFTs using that 24-word phrase onto a new ledger. By hitting right here, but nope, we want to set this up as a new device. Then it's going to ask us to choose a PIN number, 4 to 8 digits. The next few screens basically look like this, right? You're going to go through and select 4 to 8 digits. You're going to press right here to move across, left to move back. When you get to the number that you want, you hit both buttons at once. And then when you get through and have chosen your 4 to 8 digit PIN, once you get to 4 digits, the little tick will appear at the end here. So you just move across, hit the tick, and then it'll get you to re-verify your PIN. So it's going to check that your PIN's the same one that you think it is. And then we're moving on to, so with our PIN number set, we're going to move on to writing down a recovery phrase. So this is when the ledger is going to generate 24 words. We need to write these down. Okay, and the ledger will come with some good quality cardboard so that you can write down these words. You've got to write the words down in correct order, okay? And then press both buttons to continue. So what the next few screens will be is it's going to give you 24 words in order, just go and write those down on that recovery piece of paper. Now, you don't get to choose the words or choose the order, just write down what it says to you. So once that's done, it's then going to get you to verify the 24 words in order, just to make sure that you've written them down correctly and in the right order. So you then go through the process of verifying that you wrote the words down in the correct order. So once you've gone through and selected all 24, and that process you'll be hitting sort of left and right and getting to the right word, hitting both on the right word, and then going through and doing that for all the words. And then once you've confirmed, it's going to say, yep, your recovery phrase is now set. Keep it in a secure place. If you lose that recovery phrase, then you're in a bit of trouble, right? Losing your ledger, if you've got a PIN number set up, is not the worst thing in the world, right? Because you can always recover your assets onto another ledger. You don't want to lose your 24-word recovery phrase. That's the big thing. Obviously, don't share it with anyone. Ledger will never ask you for it. Press both buttons to continue, and you're good. Now, this is the screen, the main screen here. It's going to say go to dashboard. So you do that, you go to dashboard, and there'll be an option here to install an app, or you've got settings there. If you go to install an app, which in ledger speak means a wallet, right? If I want to install a wallet like Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever, I can't actually do it on the Ledger device itself. It's saying I need to go and use the manager within Ledger Live to install apps, wallets, and more. So this is pretty much all we can do at this point. The next step is we're going to download Ledger Live, install it on our desktop or laptop, and connect it up to the Ledger and install some wallets. So that'll be in step 2. Okay, so we've set up the Ledger. The next step is to install Ledger Live, which I've done. And the reason is because, first of all, we want to update the software on the Ledger to make sure it's at the latest version. But also we need to use Ledger Live to install wallets, or they call them applications. So we need to install Ethereum so that we can store NFTs on it. If I later on got interested in another type of crypto, or I want to use Flow NFTs, or I want to store some Ripple XRP crypto, I need to go into Ledger Live and install those wallets or apps. So let's get started. I've got the Nano S Plus here. Now, we've already set up our recovery phrase, right? We've done that in step 1, so we can say, yep, we've already done that. It's going to check whether our Nano is genuine. Let's check, because I hope it's genuine. Now, on the Ledger, it's just popped up and said, do I want to allow Ledger Manager? I'm going to click both buttons. Yes, I do. Also, one thing about the Ledger is, if it goes to the screensaver and times out, you'll need to go in and put your PIN number in so that you can, still use it and your PC can talk to it. But mine was unlocked. So all good, we're genuine. Phew. Okay, so looks like they've got an update here. There's a few release notes here. Hit continue. Okay, add an account to start managing crypto. You must have the app for your crypto asset installed on your device. Okay, so we're going to choose the asset. Now we want to install Ethereum. Hit continue. All right, so it's installing, and on the screen on the Ledger, it's just saying loading, please wait. Okay, so now on the Ledger, it's saying open app Ethereum. So I'm going to click both, and bang, it says application is ready on the Ledger. Now what this has also done is installed some wallet addresses on the Ledger, and in fact it installs more than one, and you'll see that later when we go and integrate it into Metamask. We'll choose an address on the Ledger to use. Okay, so add a new account. Sure, Ethereum 1, that sounds good. I mean, I can call this whatever I want. I'm going to call it Ethereum 1. And add account. Account added successfully. So now we can use this ledger for Ethereum. Okay, so we're synchronized. I've got a couple of warnings here, and it's just a bit of news. Nothing really here to talk about. So we are good to go. You may see that it requires you to do an update. There could be a firmware update. So this would be the place to do it. So there may be an update when you first install Ledger Live and Connect for the first time to go and do that update. I didn't have to do that update, so I'm good. So now that we've got our Ledger installed with Ledger Live and also have the Ethereum application installed, we're now ready to go and integrate it into Metamask. We are back with part 3. So we've got our Ledger set up, we've got the Ethereum app installed, it's up to date. Now what we're going to do is we're going to integrate it into our existing Metamask. Okay, so this assumes that you do have Metamask already installed, and what we're going to do is just add it as another wallet in your existing Metamask. Before we do that, there is a setting within Ledger to do, and it's to do with Ethereum, called blind signing. Now, sometimes when you interact with a smart contract, it could be selling an NFT, it could be swapping some crypto. It may need you to do blind signing. So before I go to use the Ledger, I'm going to do some buying or selling or something, what I'll do is I'll go and turn on blind signing in settings, do what I need to do, and then I just turn it back off again. If you don't do that, then some operations you try using the Ledger will fail. You might try and sell an NFT and Metamask will come back with an error. It's probably because blind signing is not enabled. It's quite simple. You just unlock your device, so it's all done on the Ledger itself. You open the Ethereum application, you go right till you get to settings, and once you get to settings, you'll see there's a blind signing. Is it enabled or disabled? It'll say disabled by default. You just switch it to enabled, hit both buttons, and that's it. And then once you've done what you need to do, you can just go disable it again. So I just thought I'd mention that, that it's a good idea to have that setting on, enabled, when you're about to do some things with the Ledger. All right, with that out of the way, let's go have a look at Metamask. Just going to put my local password in. Hopefully you've all got your local passwords set up. Now this here is, so I've already got a Ledger set up on my local Metamask, so we're obviously going to set up another Ledger as part of this process. So what I'm going to do is show you the two accounts I'm talking about, right? I've got my main account here, just ignore that name, it's a long story. So that's going to be my hot wallet, and then we've got I'm going to call it the Ledger Vault or something, right? So they're the two ones that we're going to talk about today. So what I'm going to do is go up here and do Connect Hardware Wallet. Now this is going to come up with a little wizard saying Connect to Hardware Wallet. There's a few different brands. Ledger's the most popular one, so yep, that's the one we've got. We're going to hit Continue. It says plug Ledger directly into your computer, then unlock it and open the app. Okay, so I've unlocked it. You do have to go into the Ethereum application, and then it says application is ready on your Ledger, and then you're good to go. So I'm going to hit Continue. Metamask wants to connect. I'm going to hit that and say yes, connect. Looking for my Ledger. Okay, now I mentioned earlier that when you install the Ethereum application on the Ledger, it's going to set up a bunch of wallets, right? So it's gone and put, well, there's a heap of wallets here, right? Just going to do this, connect. I was just browsing through, having a look at some of these wallets here. It's gone and installed a bunch of wallets, right? So I'm just going to go back and choose, I don't know, I can choose any of the wallets really, but I'll choose the first one. I'll choose the second one. There. So this is going to be the new Ethereum address that my wallet, actually, you know what, I'm going to choose the first one just in case, because I'm a bit paranoid. This is going to be the address that we will reference whenever we want someone to send us NFTs or crypto. This is just like another Metamask Ethereum address, just happens to be on a Ledger. So I'm going to hit unlock. Okay, and that's it. So this ledger is now connected to my MetaMask. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and rename it to something that, because I already had a ledger set up, so I'm going to call it, I'm going to call this the vault. There we go. So this one I've just set up is called the vault. So if I go back up here now to MetaMask, and I can switch between my accounts, you can see there's my hot wallet, my burner account. That's where I do my buying and selling, and there's my vault. Okay, and it knows that it's a ledger as well. So I've got the other ledger that was already set up, but this is the one I've just connected to my MetaMask. So I've got my hot wallet and I've got my ledger. And now I can use this just like any other MetaMask. I can send ETH to it. You can see I can copy the address there. So that's the address right there. I can move things around, but whenever I do move something off of this, I need to obviously go to my ledger and approve the transaction, right? But now we're set up in our MetaMask. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to step 4. We're going to send an NFT to the vault and then send it back, just to make sure that it works before we go and move over all of our high value NFTs. So we'll be back with step 4 in a minute. Okay, we're back. We've got our new ledger installed in MetaMask. What we're going to do now is send an NFT to the vault, and we're going to send it back just to make sure that we can get things in and out of the vault or the ledger without any problems before we go mass moving all of those valuable skulls that we've got. So I did take the liberty of sending some ETH to the vault ledger, just so we can send the NFT back, just to make sure it all tests fine. Literally just sent some from my existing ledger account to this one, right? So just went in here. Sorry, just went in here, hit send. Put in the new address for the new ledger that we just set up, and send ETH to it, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go and just copy this ledger address, right, or what I've called vault. We're going to copy it because we're going to need that when we put in the destination of where we're sending the NFT to when we want to test it. So I'm going to go and select my burner account, which is where my NFT is sitting currently that I want to send. I'm going to go into OpenSea. I'm going to go and have a look at the profile here. Okay, this is why the wallet's called Cockadoodles, because these two bloody things that have done nothing for me. But anyway, this is the NFT that we want to send, right? Nice looking skull, this one. I got this one off a pirate. Arr! So let's click on this, and we're going to hit transfer. Of course, I've got my gas window here, so I make sure I'm not paying through the nose for gas. I'm going to paste in the address of the ledger that I just copied from the Vault MetaMask up here, and I'm going to hit transfer. Now, when you transfer things into a ledger, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to approve or click any buttons or anything to accept NFTs. It's only when things come out of your ledger or you want to interact with an NFT on that ledger that you need to have your ledger connected. So I don't have the ledger connected right now to send something to it. Okay, it's just an address on Ethereum. Not time critical. I'm just going to hit low. It's pretty cool. It knows it's a DDS skull. So I'm going to send this NFT to the vault, to the ledger. Let's go. Of course, as soon as I do that, gas drops, but that's my life. All right, we're done. So let's go check that the NFT is now sitting in our ledger. So what we need to do is go and change our MetaMask to the ledger, or I've called it Vault. The MetaMask says, wait a minute, OpenSea says, wait a minute, you haven't connected before with this wallet, so we need to accept and sign. Now what this will do, it's going to, I need to go connect my ledger up, okay? And I needed to have connected the ledger before I hit accept and sign. With ledgers, you actually have to have it connected and the Ethereum application open before you go and do a Metamask operation. If I go and connect my ledger now, you'll see here down the bottom here, please, prior to clicking confirm, plug your ledger in. You've got to have done this before you go into a Metamask operation. So I've got the ledger connected and open in the Ethereum application. This is normal. This is a gasless transaction here, so I'm just going to hit sign. Now what happens on the ledger is a little sign message box appears. Okay, and so I'm going to scroll through and to the right, and it says, it gives you a description about what the message is on the screen. Press right to continue message, or double press to skip. I can keep reading. Okay, and then eventually you'll get to a tick that says sign message, or a cross that says cancel signature. So I'm going to do tick sign message and then hit both buttons. And there we go. So OpenSea is now liking my ledger because I can go to profile now. And there we have it. So the skull is now sitting in my new Metamask account, which happens to be sitting on a ledger. So that all works. That's great. So I can go into it, and it's now owned by me, okay, which is the person that's logged into this current Metamask. What I want to do now is prove that I can send it back to the wallet that I just got it from, just sent it from. So I'm going to do the reverse order now. I'm going to go and select the hot wallet. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to go back to the vault, and I'm going to hit send or transfer. So just sending it back to the wallet that I initially sent it from. Okay, now my ledger's connected. I'm going to set low gas. So this is now going to come out of the ledger back to my hot wallet. I've already connected it, so I'm good. And again, up on the ledger, I've now got a review transaction item has popped up on the screen. And as I scroll through the right button, it says blind signing. So make sure blind signing is set up. So this is an operation that would require me to have blind signing enabled on the ledger, which I have. Amount 0, the address, the fee, and then accept and send or reject. So I'm going to hit both buttons on accept and send. And there we have it. So if we go back to our profile now, we'll see there's no items here. Let's go back to our hot wallet Metamask. So let's go select the hot wallet, and bang, there it is back in our hot wallet. So at this point, we're good to go. We can start moving our NFTs onto the ledger because we know that we've got our PIN number, so we can unlock the ledger. We know that we've got the ledger set up correctly to be able to not only receive, but importantly, send NFTs off it. So I'm pretty confident we're good to go here. We've got our seed phrase written down and stored safely. So at this point, we're good to go. So good luck, enjoy, and good work on getting a ledger to secure your assets. So with that, I'll see you in the Discord.